pay off that hatchery loss, but nonetheless quite a decent damage dealt to the strike force of Nokia. Wandering through here, where are all the lurkers? Mutas are up here. I don't know where the lurkers have gone. Defending another area. The lurkers moving in with nothing to help them. Very, very nice marine split from Nokia, showing some very adept micro, but Assault is still able to come in and clean up this little strike force, which has peeved him more than enough, taking out that third base. ISL2-Assault now not in the best position he possibly could be. Nokia looking to launch another assault he could possibly do with a few more barracks here, queuing up some units in there. One factory now, he should be able to get some siege going on those lurkers and bust through the defensive lines of Assault. Assault's actually looking pretty thin on the ground, units-wise. He could probably do with pumping a few more lings and lurkers right now. A few more hydralisks coming out of the map. I don't doubt that they will be lurkers in due time. A medium-sized force now heading out from Nokia, going to try and do the damage. Another Overlord getting caught. Assault seems to be, instead of deciding to take his Overlords home, he just thinks, nah, throw them away, throw them away, throw them away. Way too slow. Can't stand watching them crawl across the map for 10 minutes. Rather just bin them. Will we be seeing anything clever from Nokia? Will we be seeing... no, hold position micro will do nothing, as there is a science vessel there, and it would end horribly, horribly, horribly for Mr. Assault. A couple of lurkers just AFK in there. Oh, he does use the hold position micro. Oh, but just scouted. If he'd only borrowed those a bit sooner, it could have been really, really sweet, and he could have kept his plan a lot more under wraps. But never mind, never mind. He pulls back to a best defensive position, presumably at the top of the ramp. A fair few lurkers out for him now, and he should be able to hold this attack with quite some strength. I don't know if he's attempting a flank here. He runs a very major risk of getting caught. Probably not the best lurker position. He'd want a better line than that, but nonetheless. Oh, Scourge going off on one there. Oh, this probably isn't the best idea from Assault charging straight in, but he does have a few links to take fire as he moves in. Tank's now sieging down those lurkers brutally. He wants to take care of this lurker as soon as possible. Mutas run in, sniper tank. Very nice bit of micro from Assault there, showing good presence of mind. Oh! 2-kill SCB at the third base of Assault. I bet he wishes I hadn't seen that. A couple more lurkers getting sieged down. Nokia takes a decent position in the middle of the map. He should be able to go to a third any minute now. What kind of tech we got going on? We've got another marine armor upgrade coming on, which of course is extremely useful against the lurkers, but another tank being sniped off there. More good micro from Assault. I'm getting a message on Skype. There you go, it's cool, it's cool. Nokia pushing across the map, and he's heading straight over to Assault's third, which is relatively undefended. These lurkers aren't going to be able to burrow down in any good time. Irradiating one lurker, having to go at the mutas, but he could have done a lot better there and had to pull out after sustaining heavy marine casualties. He's going to be able to just stop here and possibly do some damage to the lings, rather. But he is forced to pull out of this base for the moment. Very touch and go there for Assault, though. He really, really needs to keep this third base going for the moment. More Scourge coming out. I think he's going to have a crack at another science vessel. The science vessel actually lagging behind, so if Assault were to scout this, I think he could get this pretty easily. Nokia, what are you doing? What are you doing? Pick that up, pick that up, pick that up. Of course, science vessel is very valuable at this stage of the game. He needs both his irradiate and his detection for fighting against the mutas and the lurkers. Oh! Don't quite know what happened to it. I think it got taken down, as we can see, an irradiated mutalisk here. Just chilling, enjoying the last few moments of its life. A couple of lurkers taking a nice defensive position. Defilers are now out, so we should be seeing a bit more of a stable game from Assault. And he should be able to... I'm not sure actually. He should be able to get producing some more units at this, but he is extremely low on unit count. He could do with maybe a few more drones at his third. Still producing oh no, these mutants are from ages ago, my bad. Still sporting a very, very small army. I'm not quite sure what he's going to be able to do about this rather large push coming from Nokia, still staying on 2 base and just mounting really pretty large missiles. Oh! The irradiate goes down. The science vessel does get taken out, but he did manage to irradiate the Defiler first, but this could be a really great position for Assault. He's got many, many units trapped in here for Nokia, but of course the Marines can make a dash straight through this area, and they might be able to take down these Sunkers before it all goes wrong. Oh, a couple of Marines very, very, very nicely positioned indeed, just doing so much damage to these drones, taking out every single drone at the natural. But the lurkers do come in and manage to clean up quite a lot of the force from Nokia, but a lot of damage being dealt at the natural expansion. And all those drones which he really needed. He has almost no drones on the map at all at the moment. Just keep producing stuff, Nokia, and you will win. He's in a great position at this stage. Muta's just sitting there chilling. They could probably be doing something better with their time, but not to worry. Some rather damaged sunken colonies. Nokia now taking a third and a fourth going up, so he's really trying to hammer home his economic advantage. He's going to have a huge economy compared to the Zerg, and the Zerg really needs to do something now in order to get back into this game, or he's really going to find it a pretty major struggle. The Lurker's just hanging around outside the natural expansion of Nokia and wandering back across the map. Oh, all the Zerglings might get caught here. He needs those if he wants to launch any kind of offensive. Loses about half of them. That's going to make his Lurkers a little bit more useless. Is there any irradiating there? Not really in the mood for an irradiate. More links running pointlessly in. And Assault's force is looking increasingly tiny when you compare it to Nokia's. Nokia looking thoroughly in control of this game right now, completely bossing things on 4 bases versus 3, well, kind of 2.5 really. I mean, the economy from Assault is crap. Oh, some bigger radiates going down, doing a lot of damage to a lot of units. Might have done well to burrow that Lurker a little bit earlier. A big Assault coming in from Assault. Oh, he's really late to burrow the Lurkers. He does manage to get them down eventually though, pushing the Marine force back, but I think he's losing a bit too much each time. And gaining only teeny-weeny little bits of map positioning, only to lose them seconds later. The Radiate going down on another Defiler, which he really cannot do without right now. As soon as this swarm goes down, all these units are entirely vulnerable to this quite significant force which Nokia has out on the map. I feel that Assault could be doing a much better job doing a bit of harassment on this 4th and 3rd base. Indeed, as I say that, he does send a couple of links around to try and do some damage. But I feel he's been a bit too passive with his harassment in this game, whereas of course those Zerglings do offer really good mobility against quite a heavy Terran ball. All those drones actually rallied to the middle of the map there, but managing to pump the economy a bit, ISL2-Assault. Oh, but all the Lurkers being taken out in the middle, really pretty careless. I'm not sure if he could afford that. Ling biting the dust for a Lurker. But look at this, look at the tiny force that Assault has up on that high ground, and Nokia is surely going to be able to just move in and crush him now with epic force. A couple of science vessels moving in. Oh, they could get scourged pretty badly here. Marines stimming in. All the science vessels managed to make it. Really excellent by Nokia. Quick reaction times. Lots of Lurkers morphing. Those Dark Swarms came along just in time to save him. I can't help but feel that if he irradiated this final Defiler, he might be able to end it actually pretty soon. Minerals getting a bit high from Nokia, but he could be macroing a bit more effectively there, but he is looking in a commanding position nonetheless with a massive army lead, pretty major economic lead as well. All these Lurkers coming in, a bit slow to pull back Nokia. He's going to lose a few units for his trouble. He does manage to get away from the Lurkers without losing a single tank though, and that's what's important. Right now at this stage, she'll be able to siege up and do some real damage. Ooh, slightly careless there, sieging up in range of a Lurker. And I feel that was a bit unnecessary for him to lose a tank right there, but nonetheless he plows on. Few more units coming out from Assault, and he's sending a few Lurkers around to try and do some damage to this 4th base. I think those lings that were sent around before have actually done a fair amount of damage. Oh, a small force from Assault being taken out once again in the middle of the map. That Defiler is surely going to go very soon. The Radiate goes down. Will he send a Plague out or what? Massive damage being done at the 4th base from all these Lurkers. If he could come around here and do some damage to the 3rd as well, then that could be a really pretty big deal. It could be very effective at getting him back into the game, because he's not looking in quite such a shabby position as he was a minute ago, though another big force from Nokia rolling across the map, and Assault really needs to take this economy down now. He needs to burrow those Lurkers and get some damage done to these Marines. Oh, very lax micro from Nokia, letting all those Marines down. Science vessels escaping from the Scourge attack, doing loads of damage Assault to Nokia's 3rd base, and this puts Nokia only on 1 base now in fact, and this could be Assault's way back into the game. Burrows down underneath the Dark Swarm, and will be able to do good damage to a tank, takes down 1 tank, takes down a couple of Marines, and he is gaining somewhat more of a foothold in this game right now. Very high minerals we see here from Nokia. These lurkers just sieging down that command centre. Lurker just AFK here. Probably be good to go and position it underneath this command centre to really try and piss off Nokia a little bit. A couple more lurkers exploding due to the irradiate. Irradiate is super imba. A few more lings being pumped out, another defiler, a few more lurkers, 2 defilers. So Assault by no means out of this yet. He's been able to do some really, really strong economic damage. Ooh, lurker getting taken out even though it wasn't irradiated. That's how cool irradiate is. All these lurkers being dealt with finally by Nokia, but they have done their job. They have been very efficient at taking down the economy, even if not for long. Nokia are actually only mining off one barely mining base, so this is actually a pretty big deal. If Assault can get a bit more good harassment in on these bases, that's just what he was thinking, but he gets a lot of lurkers caught, and he has to pull them back across the map, only after losing a whole bunch, and that is really the last thing he can do with right now when he's just trying to lever his way back into this game. Science Vessel goes down with that lovely sandwich we also enjoy. Ooh, slightly late Dark Swarm there, but the lurkers do manage to get down, and he once again takes back a position in the middle of the map. Nokia's macro slipping once again, but of course he is very low on minerals right now. He runs a very major risk of running out of resources entirely. Another tank going down, these lings doing a fair amount of damage, and surely these lurkers will now be lifting out of the ground and heading on to try and deal with the rest of this army. If he has any Dark Swarm left, I'm not sure. Did the defiler get taken out? Oh, I think it did. And the best thing he could be doing now would be to escape this army absolutely ASAP while this Dark Swarm still lasts. Looks like he's just going to leave it in the middle of the map, which is also okay. I guess it's not a huge army, not a huge investment. A lot of lings now moseying around. He needs something to back those up. What kind of hive tech is he coming out with? He still has only a defiler mound, no sign of an ultras cabin just yet. He is, of course, pretty gas poor actually, it seems, although he's on a fair few bases. Lings coming in to scout this base, making sure that there's nothing going up for the Terran. Getting cleaned up by that small marine force. Marines are really pretty cool when you get them going, even against Zerglings. I'm not quite sure if he's got the crackling upgrade yet. I'm sure he will do. He must do. It'd be ridiculous if he didn't. Like not having Hydra speed or something, which is absurd. Consuming a few more bits and bobs in order to give himself the good energy for that Dark Swarm, which he so desperately needs right now, as another huge force from Nokia marches unassailably towards his base, and he has been unable to keep the economy of Nokia down to any reasonable level. Oh, the battle cruisers! Where have they been? Producing battle cruisers in the BM move to end this game out, doing plenty of poo-poo damage. You've got to love those guys with a massive, massive cannons. This lurker is going to get taken down. Might want to be a bit careful of his marine force, but the swarm doesn't last forever. Battle cruisers ridiculously in, but a whole army of defilers coming in now. But I really, really, really think that Assault is in a massive amount of trouble. He has literally nothing with which he can try and deal with these battle cruisers right now. Fair amount of irradiated stuff going on. All these lings are going to be very, very easily dealt with. Be a bit more careful with your marines. Pull the marines back, taking a fair amount of damage from the lurker there, but not losing too many. Battle cruisers so imber, just destroying the remainder of the Mucilis, which are left over, I believe, so from the other game. Oh! Hold position your Zerglings. A lot of Zerglings running straight into marine cannon fire. And the swarm runs out as the Terran decides to pull back. Okay, that's cool. Ling's taking tons of damage, and I really feel that this is going to be curtains in the first game for ISL2-Assault. He is down by a couple of bases compared to the Terran. His drone count has recovered a bit, but he is really in a hideous economic position. Unless he can do absolute miracles with this bunch of lings, I really think he's going to be forced to type out fairly soon. Wow, some pretty damaged times lesson in there. A few stray marines. Wish they hadn't gone that way. Oh! Battlecruiser. Makes a pretty cool noise when a battlecruiser dies. Ow! Sugar. Almost said a bad word. A lot of Zerglings going down there on this little control group of Marines, Firebats, Medics, etc. Another cloud of stuff moving across the map from Nokia, and GG from Assault realises what is going on, leaving out with the language, and that is going to be that for our lovely Game 1.